Hey, welcome back to the Black and Rowdy Show. Welcome to 2021. I know the other show we talked about New Year's Eve resolutions and all that stuff, but officially, I guess this is kind of like, I don't know, it's like starting to sink in more that we are now in 2021. We're going to get a new president. All these things are happening. So um, it's been good, but we did have a mishap happen this week, and we're gonna kind of dive into this discussion of the incident with a bunch of people. We'll just say stormed the Capitol. So we want to kind of talk about that and hash that out and get our, just try to get it, come to an understanding, I guess you could say. But please help me welcome Will and Ken. Hi, Will. Hi, Ken. Go ahead and unmute and join us in this discussion.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Good, good. So, I mean, where were you at the start of this? When you first heard about the storming of the Capitol, where were you and what was your initial reaction?
So, for me, I was actually at home. I work from home. And I got the TV in the background. And like I'm getting texts and calls and people like, yo, are you watching what's going on? I'm like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Then, I turned on CNN, this huge protest at the Capitol. Like I was new about the Capitol, whatever, huge protest, but I'm looking at it, they're rushing in the Capitol. Mm-hmm. They're breaking things down. And it just seemed like it just progressed because it just started to get really unreal. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is this like some sort of movie or some shit? And when I remember I'm watching clips of them escorting the Senate out and other members of Congress. They're taking them to I guess undisclosed locations, safe places, everything else like that. And I'm seeing the Secret Service barricading the Congress Hall with their guns out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah.
This is real. This is insane. Mm-hmm. It's literally out of a movie.
Yeah.
Like this is something like this is not really supposed to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was...
I think I'll interject real quick, then we'll go to Ken, and then we have some more discussion on that. But yeah, I think at the time you text me, Mike text me, I think you were the only two that said something about what was happening. I wasn't paying attention to the news at all because I was working and I was also climbing, and I don't have access to my phone during those time frames. I'm so focused on kind of getting my work done and this and that. So I got the text message from you, and then Mike sent me something, and I was like, what's happening? So it didn't seem real at first. It just seemed kind of like, this just doesn't seem like this would actually happen. Like, really? So that was my initial reaction. It just seemed kind of far-fetched and outlandish. But Ken, what was your thoughts initially?
Well, I was working. So I was in a real estate closing, and driving to the appointment, I had been listening to the speeches and listening to the conversations, and I was so excited to hear it. I'm not normally a very political person, but I was very excited to get to hear this process go on, because this is obviously something we don't always see. Normally, this is just done and over with and finished. So I hear, they start the Arizona, they're going to adjourn to recess to the separate chambers and have the Arizona debate. I go to my closing, I come back out, and all hell is broken loose. And I literally, and I posted on Facebook later that it was just such a sad day because I equate it, even though it's not the loss of life that we experienced with September the 11th attacks, it's the loss of our freedom and our democracy. It's the loss of the legitimacy of the process. It's the disrespect, the utter disrespect of these individuals that went in there. And let's not even worry about who they are, who they're associated with, what they're doing. That it doesn't matter. It's the very idea that you would go into some place, almost as holy as a church, and just start tearing shit up and taking the podium out. And I think I heard somebody say that the speaker's podium was on eBay for $80,000. I don't know whether that was an accurate statement, but it's just I cannot imagine. And I just sat there at one point in the car and I started to cry because I'm just going, what the hell has gone on?
Yeah.
And then, of course, we know to lay the blame where the blame belongs. And we're not a monarchy, even though he thinks he is. We're not. So here we are left with this destruction. And don't even worry about statutory hall. Don't even worry about the chambers. Don't even worry about those things. They have destroyed our democracy. And even though we'll bounce back, we'll be fine. The U.S. will continue. This has been compared to the invasion of the British that burned the Capitol building because they didn't want us to be free.
Yeah.
So, it's amazing to me to watch what has gone on, and then to watch the carelessness and Congress is in recess. Get your asses back and do something.
Yeah.
You left us hanging with stimulus. You gave us a pathetic $600. And now you've gone and left a tyrant in control who has an Oedipus Rex issue as well as Napoleon complex. And we're at the whim of a madman.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the movie Speed or something.
Yeah, it's out of control. And I think,
yeah.
Along with that, then I find out about the Jacob Blake thing where this man was shot 7 times in the back, and then the district attorney just decided no charges filed to the police, to the officers involved. So all of these things this week has been very frustrating, right? It's like no justice, like on either side. What are they actually going to do? Yeah, like the people that stormed the Capitol, what was there, like 13 arrests and this and that. Some people died, you know what I mean? So it wasn't.
Yeah, but how many thousands of people were there?
Yeah.
And then to hear the Oompa Loompa say that he immediately dispatched guard, that son of a bitch didn't do anything.
No, he didn't.
He sat on his ass, and the request from the Capitol Police was denied to have the guard come in. And with all due respect, Will, it wasn't Secret Service, it was Capitol Police. Secret Service only would have surrounded Pence. They wouldn't have guarded the chambers. But Secret Service might have been able to get something done, but they were too busy getting Pence out of the room. But Capitol Police, nobody was prepared. And I have to agree that even though I do believe, and I really do, and it's my opinion, I don't want to argue it, but I do believe that sometimes the black-white issues are escalated to just a ridiculous degree on both sides. But I do definitely agree that, and Biden said it, had that been a Black Lives Matter demonstration, you would have had police arm to arm, guards, armored to the, tooth and nail, protecting the Capitol.
And they wouldn't be able to break in. They wouldn't have been able to break in. I can tell you that right now. That would have stopped before.
But then what happened? But I think he only protected the White House because Trump was building that big, huge wall around the fence around the White House.
Oh, yeah.
But I think it's only around the White House. I don't think it's around the Capitol.
No, it was just the White House.
No, it's just around the White House.
He's only concerned about himself. He's not concerned about the Capitol.
It's actually funny that, you should mention that he's only concerned with himself. A lot of there's actually seems to be like a backlash from the MAGA cult after after Trump gave that speech that it seemed like he was under duress to give, telling them, saying that they'll pursue this to the furthest extent of the law after he initially gave them all attaboys and thank you and you're patriots and I love you and all this other nonsense.
Yeah.
A lot of them they're saying like, oh my God, like we did this all for you and he just leaves us empty, like he just leaves us with the bag handing and everything else like that. It's this is an example of why bad ideas have to be challenged. This is an example of why I believe every opinion does not matter. And the only opinion that matters is one that is valid and it is based in fact. I do not like this entire, everybody has an opinion, you have to respect them. No, you do not have to respect everybody's opinion.
I agree.
And like this
is the perfect example.
Yeah, because like we like this thing about free speech and I should be able to say what I want and I should be able to believe what I want. It's how I feel versus like the actual truth. I feel like we've allowed that to fester for so long.
Yeah.
Like this I don't know if it's necessarily postmodernism, but like the idea that the truth is relative, like when it's like the truth isn't relative, like the truth is the truth. The truth isn't absolute. Like there's like our perception of reality is relative, but there is an objective reality.
Yeah.
And
I think also like, okay, so if people have the right to believe whatever you want to believe, right? That's fine. If you want to believe the sky is green or whatever, if you want to believe that you're Michael Jackson incarnate, you go right ahead, right? Like you're not bothering me. You're not bothering the person next to you because that's just all you, right? But once your beliefs start to trickle and it's not on fact and you're starting to affect the people around you with harm, right? With harm and discord and craziness, that's when you're right. Like at that point, your opinion means nothing because now you're putting people's lives in danger. That's
even with like a lot of these people, like the whole QAnon conspiracies, like there's people who really believe that the government, there's a secret cabal of pedophiles in the government who all happen to be Democrat. They all happen to be Democrat, are stealing children and doing satanic rituals with them so they could drink their blood so they can make themselves young. It's insane.
It's just insane. Yeah.
And it's like even like the people, like there's people who like they believe this with just like religious fervor, and like you cannot tell them that they're wrong. They'll argue this up and down. They'll say, listen, you don't know what you're talking about. You're just a sheep. You need to open your eyes. All of this craziness.
Yeah, but the thing is this.
Insanity.
Yeah, but guess what? Those are the people that drink the Kool-Aid. Those are the people that go out and kill whoever they need to kill, Charles Manson, Jim Jones, all these cult leaders that really did harm to his own congregation. Like Jim Jones killed people. Like, I mean, it just blows my mind. Like control that he had over these people literally killed themselves. You know what I mean? Or just Charles Manson. He literally manipulated people to kill other people. It's just, to me, it's amazing. But those are the type of mindsets that went into the Capitol. Point blank period. Like
Well,
you
yeah,
gotta have lost your mind to break in, and then for what? Let's go to the point. Now answer this. What would be the point of you breaking into a Capitol? Like, what was the point of that? What
So
do you think?
my understanding is they're going there because remember, I think if I'm not mistaken, y'all can correct me. Trump had a rally earlier in the day,
He did on the mall.
and one of the things he said was, I don't know if he was saying it in jest or just whatever, just his regular rhetoric. We need to go and march down the Capitol and just stop what's going on right there. You know,
Well,
they're trying to. Their idea was they wanted to go march to the Capitol, stop the certification, and just I guess hold people hostage until they decertify the vote.
Again,
Which is
this
it's
doesn't make sense.
insane.
It is insane for people that are
Like they really believe that this is election is.
competent. They just wouldn't. It just wouldn't equate to what these people did. Do you get what I'm saying? People that are competent, they're sane, right? They're reasonable. They're happy. They want to keep their jobs. They want to keep their right. People that are like that wouldn't equate that to breaking into something, right? Like that speech that he did. I get it. I can see why somebody that's off their rocker would think, yes, we need to break down the Capitol and and do all this crazy stuff. But people that are competent wouldn't do that. Does that make sense? Ken, what do you think?
Well, that's where you get into the antisocial disorders, the anti-personality disorders, because we have a set of societal norms, and there are people that fall outside of that.
Yeah.
And they are dysfunction. They are the ones who need help. There are people who are more gullible to these types of things. And I forget some of the psychological diagnoses and some of the classifications, but there are people who are more susceptible to I don't know that you really call it true brainwashing, but they want so badly to believe in something, they'll believe in anything. And it's the old cliche, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
Absolutely.
So, if you don't have your own wherewithal, and I kind of look at it, and I don't know their educational background, so I don't want to try to insult them. I know that our Oompa Loompa in chief doesn't have I don't think he has a high school education. I think he dropped out of high school. So I don't know the educational backgrounds of these people, but my guess is that they're not the intellectually brightest. And my guess is they're probably not college educated.
That's what I was thinking.
I wonder how many of them are high school dropouts, and they idolize him because he made a success with fake money and hiding things. To them it looks great.
So
that's the appeal.
I want to. I don't know if the term is. I want to say push back, but I think it's dangerous to label them as just miseducated, gullible, or just dealing with some variant antisocial personality disorder. I'm sure some of them are. I'm definitely sure that.
Let's call it like it is. They're stupid.
Some of them are.
Yeah,
But
let's be real.
Yeah. But so. But hold on. This is where social psychology comes into play, right? And there's such thing called groupthink, right? And when you're dealing with
groupthink only takes you so far.
Yeah.
But yes, but listen, I'm getting tongue-tied. We can't underestimate people's. I feel like there's anybody and everybody to a certain degree can be manipulated, right?
I can agree with that, but to do it on this level.
That's what we're talking about.
I understand that. But if you're showing somebody and you're convincing them that this is the truth. Like if I'm convincing you, I convinced you that there is this plot that is going on that is destroying everybody, and everybody has to stop what they're doing and stop it. And if I could convince you to do that, you're going to, that's something you're going to hold on to that.
The last
Like
person
just
who
in
did
case,
that was
hold on, wait,
Hitler.
hold on.
You gotta make it shorter. You
Just
gotta make it shorter,
things-
Will. We got a little bit of time left. Go ahead.
Yeah, my fault. I'm trying to get it out. Just case in point, we always we're talking about social justice issues. We all know that there's something wrong,
Yeah.
right? So like we're convinced, we believe this. So a lot of the things, so when we talk and when we say things, and when somebody says something contradictory to that, we look at them as they're crazy. Because like, listen, this is what's really going on. So, but you have to take that mindset. What if you have that same mindset for something that is not true, but you've been convinced to believe that? And everybody, to a certain degree, everybody is susceptible to some form of manipulation. That's why you buy things. That's why that's why you first get that first.
Yeah, no, we agree.
I can concede to some of that.
There, Will, for a second. I get it. I get what you're getting. I understand what you're saying. So, yeah, I agree. All of us can be manipulated in some way. We can be manipulated by our family members, by our lovers, by our friends. Maybe not on purpose, but you're right. All of us can be manipulated. But to go back to the point of, to me, if you were at a certain, I just don't feel like, and maybe you're right. We don't know the educational background, right? Ken said that. Well, we don't know the educational background of everybody there. But at the same time, you could have 5 degrees, but be as dumb as rocks when it comes to social and just common sense, right? So that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just the act of what they just did. What was the point? Because you breaking into something is not going to stop something from happening, right? Because
At least not in this country.
Well, we're going to go in and we're going to stop no, it doesn't work that way, right?
No.
No, and that's what I mean. Why in their brains was going to the Capitol would have changed that?
But it goes back to the root, and I said it a minute ago, and I don't know if everybody caught it. Hitler got people to do things that were unthinkable. Mm-hmm. And Hitler did things to people that were unthinkable. This is a modern day Hitler. Mm-hmm. He can tell, you know what? If he told everybody if he told his followers, cut off your genitals, I guarantee you those sons of bitches would cut them off. I guarantee you. I mean, it's just that ridiculous. And it's something, think about, and this is oversimplified. Think about what Hitler did. Hitler said, I will save you. I will make your life better. I will make things a lot better for you.
Yeah.
And what did he do? He didn't. What is Trump doing? Trump is saying, follow me, lick my ass, kiss my balls, and I will make your life better. What has he done? He has shoved a dildo up our asses so big it could fuck an elephant. So that's just the way it is. This is, and I don't know if it's a term, I don't know if it's a real word, but I'm going to coin it. This is Hitlerism.
Hitlerism.
Interesting.
I'm just saying.
I mean,
why they did what they did.
Sorry, let me just say, I just came in at that moment, and what a beautiful moment to come into.
Hi, Brittany.
Hello, Ken. That was so eloquently put, and I don't think that any words could have been better. Also, there is a word for that, and it's called fascism, which is, I love this because the first reaction was, it's Antifa. Like,
Yeah.
working
Exactly.
against their own interests. First of
You
all,
want to hear something funny?
tell me.
So there is actually a divide within. I'm gonna call it the MAGA cult. Like it's a cult. Like I think we need to start. Like this is a cult.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
the MAGA cultists online are saying that this was an attack done by Antifa, but the cultists who actually went are upset that they're blaming Antifa instead of giving them credit.
Good credit.
Credit.
Mhm.
And they're like, no, like American patriots did this. Antifa didn't do this. And they're getting visibly upset about this.
Mhm.
And it's a very funny dynamic.
Wow.
So I've got a question. I don't know whether we have time to cover this or not. Who is disturbed by the fact that he has yet to appear live? He has yet to address the nation live.
Yeah.
We've been through one of the worst 24-hour periods in our history on our grounds, on our sacred grounds. And that guy has yet to face us live. He prepares doctored statements that he doesn't believe. He's reading off a television. I can't stand listening to him anymore. I'm so anxious for them to get him out, for him to not be. I don't want to hear him anymore.
Yeah.
His meter, his timbre, everything about his speech, it just curdles. Everything inside of me just curdles, and I want to just spew out everything. It's awful, but he's yet to address us live. He doesn't have the balls to stand up in front of the country and say, you know what, I screwed up. Y'all said no. I'm gonna go home. I know it makes it sound like a little bitch. Take your dildos and go the fuck to Florida.
That's right. Go to Florida, New York.
Actually, go to North Korea. You like Kim Jong-un so much? Go to fucking North Korea. Go to Russia. Go sleep with wherever you want to go. But get the fuck out of our house. This is our house. You want to know what we should have stormed? And by no means saying that anybody should have done this. And by no means, this is not a threat. This is not anything other than, if you want to storm something, storm the White House.
Yeah.
Take him out of our house. That's our house. The
Yeah.
Capitol building is not our house.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody keeps saying, and all of his little lemmings, this is our house and we're taking it. That's not our house.
Yeah.
The people's house is the White House. And that's the reason that house has been open. And that's the reason Bush got it reopened for tours so quickly after the 9/11 attack. That is our house. That building, yes, it represents our legislature. It represents our democracy. It represents the things that make our country the best country in the world. However, it is not our house.
Yeah.
You want to do something? Yank his Oompa Loompa ass out of the White House.
Yeah.
And Pelosi needs to go get it done.
Or impeach him again. Like, it is not too late. You can.
I'm worried about the time frame, though.
Right.
Right, but like it. Seriously though, Ken, if people were actually like-minded and dedicated, it could be done within a few days.
Oh yeah, they could go back now and do it.
Right.
They could
And
be there
stop
tonight
him
doing
getting
it.
that pension and stop all of that nonsense that would enable
Right.
him to run again. He like just make him be done. It's
Even
crazy.
if they do it,
Well, yeah. Yes.
well, even if they do it after he leaves office, if he's impeached after he leaves office, it'll prevent him from running.
That's
the one thing. But he's also, even if he pardons himself, he can still be charged, and then they'll have to fight it out in court. But he can still be charged with high crimes and misdemeanors. He can still be charged with inciting a
tax
riot.
evasion.
Yes, exactly. I think he should be charged with derelict of duty. Now, I don't think we call it abdication here, but because I think abdication is more of a monarch thing. But derelict of duty, he abandoned his duty. He let them ransack the Capitol building, did nothing about it. It's just, I can't imagine. I'm thinking if somebody was coming into my house, I'd be going to get my gun, knives, everything else. And he did nothing.
Yeah.
Because he wanted it.
Yeah.
I know he
everyone's
did.
Surprised, Ken. Like
I know he did.
he's been encouraging his Proud Boys. He's been
Mhm.
trying to incite riots.
Yeah.
Everything that he says
I
that he's
agree.
against, like riots and looters not shooters, because that would be awesome.
No, no, he did say one time when the looting starts, the shooting starts or something.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
And
He definitely did say that.
I mean, if I had been Capitol Police, I'd have shot those motherfuckers right then and there as soon as they broke through that glass.
That's right.
And it would have been one shot. I don't need 7 shots in the back of some guy that was in his, I'm not even gonna go there. It would be one shot. But they wouldn't have got in those windows.
You're right. Like, they didn't even have to shoot at people. All they had to do is show we have a gun, it's loaded, you come in here, boom, 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 in the air, right?
Yeah.
People would stop right there and be like, yo, I don't think we need to be coming up in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'd back my ass down.
Right? That's so true. That is so true.
I mean, somebody did shoot. Like, somebody did get shot. But
Yeah, but
right,
like,
there was
they
the
were
one
already
lady
in
that-
the building, though. By then, they
Right.
were.
one thing I feel like this is planned.
Absolutely.
And I feel like one of the reasons why they were met with very little resistance is because I think some of the Capitol Police plan on it. There's like stuff on Reddit saying that and Twitter, they're saying that some of these there were members of this mob who were off-duty police.
Yeah.
And ex-military.
There was a lieutenant from San Antonio that was there. She's being investigated.
Himself.
So like these aren't like, so like they had help.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a clip on Twitter where you see some of the Capitol Police is moving moving gates aside and just letting the crowd in. So like that's if you want to know the reason why like they weren't shooting, that's the reason why they weren't shooting. Because some of them were in on it.
So what is pause for a minute. You think Trump basically gave the orders to the police to stand down? Yes or no? What do you
I don't know if I do know that they were Trump repeatedly refused a request to send in the National Guard, and Pence of all people went behind his back and issued to issue the order, which is that's incredible. Pence has the might of all people. Mike Pence has to be the adult in the room.
Yo,
right?
Mike,
So like
Mike Pence and Mitch McConnell both did the not wrong thing in this situation.
that's incredible. But like, so like, I don't know if he quote unquote gave them the order, but I think it's more of there's elements within law enforcement that are white supremacists and apparently pretty radicalized, and they were down with it. Yeah, brother, go ahead. Let's save our democracy. Let's come on, patriot. Like this is the mentality that we are dealing with. It is
patriotism.
Honestly, I'm not even surprised.
It's just
like we've seen it. We've seen it with NYPD and during the summer with the protests. Like, how many unprovoked attacks did they do? Like my little brother was telling me, like some of the protests, they would try to corral some protesters into a certain choke point, and not let them out until 9 p.m. And then when it's 9 p.m., they start beating the crap out of them, arresting them. That's insane.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. 100%. Yeah, that's definitely me when I was marching and protesting, I've seen some stuff. So absolutely, I agree. I completely agree with that. But we're gonna have to wrap it up. This was a really good talk. I'll wrap it up with just this. Like, I think it's just very silly. To me, they were silly. It's like little boys putting on Halloween costumes and going trick or treating. That's what it seemed like to me. These guys with these costumes trying to look like I don't even know what they were trying to like. You're trying to look intimidating.
Like,
You look really stupid right now.
It sounds
You look
like
dumb
big
as F. You look dumb. What are you doing? You know what I mean? And then like the lady with the flag. It's just silly.
I feel like they're dressed up like Braveheart or something. Like that. That's like who they think they are, right? They're like Braveheart. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna save me.
Freedom!
Yeah, like it's.
And you can tell them that they may take a land, but they'll never take our freedom.
Yeah, exactly. To me, it was just silly. Like, you just look dumb right now, right? Like, some people were getting mad. I get it. Like, I was a little upset, but then I just started thinking about like, I'm not letting that steal my peace. Right now, they just look stupid.
They look so stupid.
Yeah, to me, they just look silly and like just little boys running around. One guy fell off a wall trying to climb it, and I was just laughing. I'm like, these people are so stupid. What are they thinking?
I mean, these are the people that like do not do. I was actually talking to Jonathan. So Jonathan, just for those who don't go to Forefront, the church that we attend, Jonathan is the teaching pastor. And oh my gosh, I just blanked out on what I was gonna say. What were we? Oh yeah. We were talking about how the scariest people out there are the surest people. Those who do not engage in and try to stop others from critically thinking. And that is what a cult leader does, right? Like the second that you start thinking and questioning, you squash it. You squash the questioning, and that's how you maintain your following. Because questioning threatens the people in power. So with all these, because there's a difference between a protest and a fucking coup. Right? And with all the protests that were happening, they were questioning those that were in power.
Yeah.
That was a direct threat. You saw the Capitol was lined with guards, with the National fucking Guard. Then these people here, unfortunately, Kim, everyone is laughing at them and they don't see them as a threat, but they are a threat. They're absolutely a threat. I will keep on bringing it back. I brought this up to Kim, that Key and Peele sketch where there are like a bunch of Black guys in an alleyway doing absolutely nothing, like drinking coffee or whatever, and the cop is like, it's a gun, and like there's a white guy that like walks out of his apartment fully armed with like an MS. I don't know anything about guns, right? Whatever, he's fully armed with like an assault rifle and like the bullet vest, and and the cop goes, "Oh, sir, I just wanted to warn you that there are some suspicious people around here. So just be on your way and be safe."
Oh my God.
And like, but like it seemed like a joke. Haha, that's funny, except it's so fucking real because there were those people with those like bullet sashes that were storming the fucking Capitol that look like cosplayers, but they're real. They're real.
Yeah.
This is not Comic-Con for Braveheart. This is fucking America. This is happening.
That's a good point.
Braveheart.
All right, with that, thank you, Brittany, for that thought. I think that's great because these people are a threat. They're terrorists, period. Point blank, period.
They are.
Like, we're so quick to jump on, not we, but certain people quick to jump on, oh, well, this guy's a terrorist, this guy's, oh, no, they're terrorists. Breaking into a Capitol like that, stealing stuff, oh, no, you're a terrorist. Like, stop.
And their leader.
Yeah, and their leader, absolutely. So with that, thank you for coming on the show, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Hi, everybody.